Yeah, there's probably 3 people listening right now, and
It's my mom, your mom.
and that's it. I don't even think my mom would be listening, so it's fine.
Hello all, welcome. My name is Daniel,
I'm Paul.
and this is the Dad Collective Podcast. You excited?
I'm stoked.
This is our first episode, so we're going to try some things. We're going to see how it works. I'm excited to get this going with you.
I am 11 out of 10
That's good.
on the excitement meter.
That's a good number. And for those of you that don't know us, you're going to find out a lot more about us.
I would say today is the day
It's the intro day. But
that everyone's going to know who we are.
Exactly. But before we tell them who we are, tell them what we're doing here. This is, as we said, the Dad Collective Podcast. And the podcast is going to focus on all things about dad, modern dads, what's a modern dad?
I would say a cool hip guy.
Cool. You think of, if you think of like a traditional dad, you think like not cool and hip, but modern dads are us.
Okay.
Dads in 2023, 2024, and dads to be.
There we go.
So it's the dads going through time.
How many kids you got?
I have 3 kids.
How old are they?
8, 5, 2.
You have to think about that one.
When you have 3, you have to think about it. But but yeah, we'll get into all my dads. But if you're a dad or a dad to be, this is the podcast. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs.
A lot of maybe some tears.
Maybe one single tear down the cheek.
If we get deep into like your psyche, I feel like I can get you to cry,
Dude,
which I'm excited about.
I can cry on command, so we're pretty good on that.
You're an actor.
But what's kind of cool about this space is, you can, even if you're not a dad, I have a feeling this is going to be entertaining. So if you just wanna learn about cool stuff,
good conversation.
Yeah, just sit back, relax, and
enjoy.
Have a good time.
Maybe some interviews.
We'll
bring some special people in. We're gonna listen to the audience. Hopefully one day when we get one.
There's probably 3 people listening right now, and
it's my mom, your mom,
and that's it. I don't even think my mom would be listening, so it's fine.
Come on, Hilda.
Come on now. All right.
So we're going to get this started. So I'm excited to sit down with you today for our first show, because our first show really is going to be focused on like what to expect. It's that book, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Obviously, I'm a dad of 3, but still a young dad, still young kids. But you're about to become a dad, and there's a lot that you think that you're ready for, and there's a lot that you hear what it is. But I'm going to try to give you those tidbits, those little trinkets of information that can change your life from the hop.
There you go.
In a good way.
So we're a couple of months out, due in December, beginning December 4th. But I want to say maybe even before we get into that.
Who are we? Why are we sitting here together?
So
give a little background on us. Start at the beginning.
So we have known each other probably since we were 4 years old.
So that would be 36 years.
Well, yeah, he just turned 40. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Welcome to the club. Yeah, so we have known each other since we were 4. We've gone to school together all throughout,
elementary,
high school.
Not university.
University of York, yeah.
Yeah, we overlapped there.
Yeah. So, we've, worked together. We started businesses together. We've worked together. We've DJed together. We've played in bands together. It's pretty crazy how long that we have known each other. You were the first one to have kids.
Out of all our friends?
Yeah,
out of our main group of friends, I was number 1.
I remember you told us at Rolsan.
Really?
You told us at Rolsan that you were having a kid.
They moved. Rolsan moved.
They did, which is a Chinese restaurant in Toronto where we are.
Great place.
Awesome place. But yeah, we have known each other for a long ass time.
And this is just this is a round circle. This is like a full circle. This is like potentially our final endeavor together. Like you said, we are in bands, multiple bands. We can talk about that if you want a little bit, because again, we're trying to get to know us, who we are. DJing, lots of parties together.
Yeah, I think like the whole path of your career was from when we started DJing together. I started DJing when I was 13 years old, and
I jumped in around 16.
You jumped in and you kept going, and I pivoted into real estate, which I do now. I own a brokerage. I have my own team. I have my own business, and you, Mr. Entrepreneur, you got 50 million things going on.
I have a lot of jobs, and I don't think this podcast is long enough to go through them all, but I'll give a quick rundown. So obviously, like you said, I'm still in the event world in many different ways, both private events, but a lot of big corporate stuff, activations, experiences, company called Event Circle, which is great. I have a food company, a CPG company, as they say in this world.
CPG.
Consumer packaged goods.
Okay.
And I'm doing that with one of our other best friends.
Yep.
And that's all about healthy eating and great food. It's called Goldie's, which is exciting. And obviously I still DJ.
You do still DJ?
On weekends.
How's that feel?
Honestly, it keeps me young. That's why I still have a full head of hair. It's why I still know all the cool Dua Lipa songs. That all matters.
I love that you went with Dua Lipa. Out of any artist you could have gone with,
what would you have said? Swiftie?
Yeah, I would have been like
Rodrigo?
Smoke Perp.
Yeah, we don't play those at parties.
You should.
I'll look it up. But nonetheless, we've done all these different things. We have all these different jobs, but we found this common ground with you about to be a father, a dad, where we thought we can have some really interesting conversations for everyone out there who wants to know the reality of being a dad these days. It's not all glitz and glamour, but also the perspective of someone who's like in it. I'm not in it as much as like our parents are in it, but I'm in it, and someone who's about to get into it. And that whole kind of conversation, that whole kind of perspective from two different sides, I think is a really interesting conversation. And hopefully it takes off. And this isn't our first and only episode.
Well, like I was, obviously when you're about to have a baby in these times, you go online and look for stuff. And I just kind of noticed a huge shortfall in stuff geared towards dads.
Yeah.
And the stuff that is geared towards dads, I was just like, this isn't anything I would really...
Like stereotypical stuff.
I didn't relate to it. It wasn't my vibe. Like I've always knock on with the pack. I feel like you guys finding out that I was having a kid was probably surprising to all of you.
Yes.
And,
because you were like, tell me a little bit about that. You were like, you're 40, but you said that you were kind of against having kids for a long time.
Yeah.
What was the switch? Obviously, you're married and you have a great wife and she's fantastic. But what was like the switch that said, you know what, Jess, let's talk about this. Let's have a kid.
I think it all, to be honest, I think started by getting a dog, as weird as that sounds, just because you kind of, are responsible for someone else other than yourself.
Yeah.
And just meeting Jess, like I never thought I would have kids to be honest, in general, it was never something that was a priority for me. I think like a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, I want to get married, want to have kids and blah, blah, blah. I've been very, very focused as like, since I was little about making something with my life and building up something important and something bigger than myself, and just meeting Jess kind of changed things. And
because even if you took one more step back before you met Jess, you were also kind of against even getting married.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It takes the right person in the right circumstances, the right point of your life, and there's no wrong. And that's the thing, is that people are having kids later and later these days anyways.
Exactly.
Like you mentioned, I was early in our friendship, but I'm still like 31, 32 when I had my first kid, which is very different than probably our parents. My parents were like 20. My mom was like 27 or 26.
My mom was 20 when she had my oldest brother. There's no bad way. There's no wrong path, really. No, for sure. And I think of myself when I was 31. There was no way. I was living in my loft downtown Toronto, and I'm still downtown. But it wasn't in the cards. And even getting married, like I eloped. Jess and I eloped in Cayman Islands a couple months ago, and I came back and messaged in the group chat.
Through a group chat.
Hey, I'm married. And I think a couple of you guys were maybe a little upset because you were probably hoping for like the last bachelor party or something.
We can still do that. There's no rules about doing that post marriage.
I don't think I'm going to be traveling for a bachelor party for a little while.
So let's just go to Whiskey's then. Great place. If you're in Toronto, check it. I don't even think it's still open.
No.
But that's exciting. So then you guys, did you decide and then tried, or did you were open to it and weren't careful?
Well, I think that's going to be a whole episode of our story. But no, we talked about it. It was in the plans. We were, I think going the route of the fertility clinic, and I can just, get right into it. We were at my parents'. Jess's back was kind of sore, and this was on a Saturday. The Thursday prior, we were actually at the fertility clinic going through all of our results of the tests that we did.
Sorry to just jump in. You went to the fertility clinic because you were already trying and having trouble, or
we just wanted to kind of
kick it off like that?
We wanted to kick it off that way.
So there was no worry at that point.
No, not really. And they were just like, yeah, you guys might have a little bit of trouble. Saturday,
is it because of the skinny jeans?
It's not. It's not
because that can affect sperm flow.
My boys were marching strong.
The boys go marching out.
My boys were in their skinny jeans and Vans and having a great time.
Just flying
through with their. Yeah, I can say
tails.
skinny jeans with tail. Yeah, their tails.
There
Exactly.
Let's keep it biological.
Zooming along. Yeah, if you believe in science. Anyways,
we don't.
So Saturday we're at my parents and Jess was complaining about her back hurting, and she has an extremely high pain tolerance. I get a paper cut. I'm out of commission for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, this is pretty serious. She actually said, like, I think we should go to the hospital. And I'm just like, well, there's a UFC fight on that I really wanted to watch.
Go and tell me how it goes.
Yeah. So we went to the hospital and they gave her an x-ray. And before they gave her an x-ray, the lady was just like, are you pregnant? And just like, no, absolutely not. So we get back at like 2 a.m. and Jess decides to take a pregnancy test. And I'm watching the UFC fight at 2 a.m, the repeat. And she comes in, she's like, I'm positive. And I was just like, oh.
What was your reaction for real? Like internal, maybe not external, because you're not really an emotional guy, but were you like, fuck, or were you like, yes, this is it?
Yeah, I was tired and maybe on a gummy. So I was,
that's all right.
I was just I was like, oh, sick. But it was like an Amazon pregnancy test. So I was like, okay, cool.
Let's go to the doctor. Let's find out.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but the next day she ordered like 6 different types and all of them were positive. So she went to the fertility clinic on the Monday and they're like, yep, you are pregnant.
And you didn't go through any treatment or anything?
Nothing.
So you went to the fertility clinic to see what your options were. They said that you guys might have trouble for whatever reason. You don't need to go into that necessarily, but you went home and within weeks you were pregnant without having any type of treatment.
Exactly. And yeah, perfect, healthy baby so far. We are having a baby boy. And,
nice. Are we giving the name up for episode 1?
No. That's we're going to keep that.
That's episode 7?
Yeah, I'm thinking of Horst.
That's the name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that for
Horst.
you.
Yeah.
Horst with a silent X.
Like
oh, so it's like a Jewish kid.
Like serious fat Jewish kid named Horst.
I love it.
Now we're gonna keep the name a secret, but that was kind of similar to you though. I think you
for my first kid.
For your first kid.
Yeah, the first one was crazy, and like you said, you don't know how to react the first time. Even if you are trying, and even if you are like, we want this, when you find out that it's coming, there's no preparation, there's no right age that will ever feel like I'm ready. But my story for the first one was crazy. It was crazy in my opinion. So we got married in September.
Yes.
Okay. September the 7th. You should know that.
You should. It just passed.
It just passed. Anniversary, kid's birthday, then my birthday. But we'll get into that whole smorgasbord of celebrations later. But we just got married. It's January now. We're 4 months into our marriage. And we're at my mom's house for dinner.
Okay.
And she's like, and we thought we'd have trouble fertility wise. Jamie has some little issues. We weren't super deep into them, but we thought it wasn't going to be quick or easy.
Yeah.
And my mom out of nowhere is like, you guys should just test to see if she calls it ovulating. Not, what do you say?
Ovulating.
Yeah, ovulating.
Wait
like a human.
Wait.
Yeah, my mom said that.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Was just like, here, come. I don't even, what kind of test is that? Do you like
it's
pee on something? What do you do?
Yes, it's the same thing as a pregnancy test, same thing. She didn't have the device on her, no. It wasn't like, we're not that close, but she's like, I have a feeling, just go home. I think you might be ovulating, according to ovulating.
Ovaltine.
Go home and whatever. And I think we did some tests earlier and we weren't, and she was not regular from a cycle standpoint. So like we can never predict. It's not consistent.
I just we're very lucky being men.
Oh,
like
so
we don't
easy.
have to deal with any of that stuff.
None of that. I mean, dads have a whole set of issues in
we'll get into
themselves,
that, but
we'll jump into that as
get back into that.
Yeah, so she goes, go home and test. I have a feeling. So we went home and we tested, and for the first time on this little device that she was. So we got busy. We got down to it.
36 seconds later.
Don't undershoot me. It was a good 73 seconds.
Almost a minute and a half.
Yeah,
record time.
For anyone who knows me, that's good stuff. But so we went down to it, whatever, and first time, first try, she gets pregnant. Now, how I found out is the funny part, because again, I knew we were trying. I knew that we wanted to. we knew that it was early. We weren't planning on having a baby that early, but we thought if there's a window of opportunity, if the ovulation test says it's good, we're going to try because it could take a year, 2 years. We don't know.
Yeah.
Especially these days. Like
100%.
it seems to me that more people are having issues and trouble, and it's a little bit disheartening.
Huge.
Right?
Huge. I think everyone that I've spoken to at some point goes to a fertility clinic, which is normal.
Yeah, these days it is.
And I also think there's a huge lack of cool fertility clinics.
What,
which
like
is
with
a
like
whole
neon
other,
lights?
I just think, well, that's a whole other conversation too. But
and that's a whole other business we can start.
Jess already started thinking about something like that.
She's doing it?
Yeah.
I'll invest.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Having said that, I'm at work. I'm at my office and I get a call. So in this office at this time, I'm in this like room with like 3 other people, good friends of mine, but people that I'm working with. And Jamie calls me, let's say a week, maybe, I don't know exactly how long after, we got down and dirty, and I answer the phone, not expecting anything. And she's like, I'm pregnant. And my eyes widened and I just hung up.
I love it.
I hung up on her, and my friend Jen, who works with me, she goes, she understood what the conversation was just based on like hearing one side of it. And she goes, did you just hang up on your wife who told you she was pregnant? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, call her back now. So I picked it up, called it back. We got excited, and telling other people is the exciting part. Obviously, you have your own internal struggles, but calling everyone and telling everyone, not right away, obviously, because we wanted to wait, until the safe limit. It's whatever,
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Obviously, we told family and certain friends. The roll sand conversation was before.
Was that
3
before
months.
3 months?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And then boom, you just go through the process, and that's what Jess is going through now, and it's scary, and she's back problems, struggling, and you want it over. And she asked me upstairs when I was speaking with her.
Yeah.
She's like, how can you go through this again? Like, you have 3 kids. Like, how did Jamie go through this again and again? And I was telling her, and it's different for everyone. There's no rule or rhyme or reason of how many kids you want or what makes sense. But once the baby is here, once the kid's there, you forget. Or at least Jamie tells me, you forget the pain of pregnancy. That's what she said.
There's no way Jess is forgetting.
Your brain does something. I'm telling you.
Well, I think the female brain actually is biologically.
Yes.
Something happens when you have a baby that it makes you forget, because then I think the population would just be.
You go back.
It would be half.
I compared it. It's not a direct comparison, but I compared it to like a tattoo. It's like you like your tattoos. It's a final result. You forget a little bit about the pain. It's obviously not terrible, the pain of a tattoo, depending on your own pain standards. But you when you get a tattoo and it's done and you like the way it looks, you want to go back. You want that feeling again, and you forget about like sitting there for hours and like the pain and like the cleaning processes right after. It's that your baby or your kid or whatever you have at that point when you decide to have a second kid or a third kid reminds you of the greatness that comes out of it, right?
I want to say, if you were a female listening right now, I would love you to comment.
Yeah.
If having a child is similar to getting a tattoo.
No, not similar to getting it. It's an analogy. It's not a simile even. It's an analogy. And the point is that when you're going through pain and hardships, whatever it is, if the end result is something that's a miracle and great and wonderful, your brain believes, and maybe rightfully so, that all of that was worth it and it's worth it again. It's not like getting pain and going through anger to only end up worse.
Okay.
It ends up better, so you reset mentally. But yes, comment below if that's a realistic thought process when having kids. Some people it's easy for.
Yeah, so we're one and done.
One and done.
One and done.
We'll see.
No, 100%.
We'll see.
I'm like, literally, she'll be in one booth. I'll be getting snipped 3 doors down. 1,000%.
You're gonna skip the birth.
I will
just
be
to get
holding
snapped.
the baby in my arm and just with my legs over my head, being like, get rid of these bad boys.
Imagine they offered at like the hospital. It's like
a 2-for-1 deal.
A 2-for-1. Like you have your private room. She's giving birth. You're in the next bed getting snipped.
Yeah.
And
we're just holding hands.
And then the baby comes. You hold it. You're like, oh, I want another one. And then you're like, flip it.
No.
It can be reversed.
So we've always had a group chat we've had the same group of friends since kindergarten.
Yeah.
Grade 1, I would say. No, even grade.
Yeah. Some joined later, but really kindergarten is what kicked it off.
And it was always called Dads and Paul.
Yes.
And I think I went and changed the name to Dads. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, and I'm having a boy. Well, I said I was having a baby. I don't think we knew the sex yet.
Insane.
But I don't get why people wait to find out the sex. Did you wait?
I didn't wait.
Yeah, like I like to prepare things. I like to obviously think of the name. The name that we had would have been interchangeable. We both agreed on the name fairly quickly. Jess picked it because I had no say.
I mean, at the very least, you could have names for both sexes regardless.
If they want to be that, and we don't have to go down that road.
We don't need to go that road. But you're right. Preparing is nice.
Yeah.
Our parents, or at least my parents, and certain people who would argue that don't find out the sex, be surprised, whatever. My whole like rebuttal to that was that the baby being born is exciting enough. I don't need an extra excitement of finding out the sex, which is probably great. It's exciting. It's a boy, it's a girl, it's whatever. But getting that baby there, that the excitement of that is enough on its own, that finding out the sex some point down the pregnancy line is just one more thing to be excited about. So it's like getting the most out of like the excitement timeline.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's every ultrasound that we have, we just did that 3D ultrasound thing, which is...
It's weird.
It's very weird.
Did you print out the baby picture of that?
Yeah, we have photos of that. He's a very active baby, so he probably has like ADHD like Jess and I both do.
Oh yeah, you guys
Our baby's going to be insane, which is fine.
But you're not ADHD, so you're not a hyper person.
No, I actually am ADHD diagnosed.
But you don't come across as hyper. You come across as, if I'm going to diagnose you, more like attention, that your mind will wander. You like even watch this podcast back.
Yeah.
Maybe Paul's brain or eyes and stuff, he'll just kind of go into his head and focus on something else. But you're not a hyper person. Or at least not so much anymore.
That's not really the
I'm not a doctor.
You're not, no.
I just look at the letters.
You make cereal. Keep making cereal.
It's delicious. It can also be used as a yogurt topper.
Oh, amazing.
And in your smoothies. If it ain't Goldie's, it ain't right.
All right. So yeah, it's we're a couple months out, and we just did our ultrasound on Wednesday. Everything's looking good.
That's nice.
Starting the reno on the house to get the nursery ready. We have all the furniture ready to come, and it's just freaking go time. It's a scary thing like I'm in real estate. As I said, I have been in the business for 14 years now, and I've got my team. I just bought into my brokerage, and I'm used to being able to do whatever.
Drop on a dime and go.
Yeah. Like you've worked with me in the past, and like even today, I had a client contact me this morning being like, hey, can we go see these places this afternoon? I'm just like, yep, let's go do it.
Yeah.
I don't say no. Luckily, I do have a good team underneath me, but it's still like a fear in my head because, like, at the end of the day, if I'm not selling real estate, I don't get paid.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have a salary every 2 weeks.
In the first year, if we're talking about work, right? Because that's what we're kind of talking about right now, and it's your baby and work, and how do those kind of mesh together, and it evolves because you get used to it. You find your own kind of schedule and all that stuff. I'm crazy busy and doing a million things. But in the first year, people are also very understanding. So like even your clients, like you said, you have teams, and even Jess on both sides, you have understanding, right? Jess understands that she's going to be on maternity leave, I assume, for some time.
For a year. Yeah.
So she'll take the year, maybe not, maybe less, maybe more. That'll be a decision she can make.
Yep.
So she understands that you got to be out there working. But at the same time, those that you're working with, and I know that real estate moves fast, but like you said, the people that work under you and with you, if you need them to do something that's a little more of a task that's not necessarily needs your hands on, they're understanding. Everyone's understanding. Everyone gets what it's like. Even if they don't have kids, they get that it's a crazy time, and they're more willing to help out. So you find that balance, and it's slow. It's a slow change to adjust your schedule. And then you start to prioritize. You start to say, listen, I can still make a living, or I'm still doing this, but like Sunday mornings are like for me and the family, we do this, and this becomes a tradition, and blah, blah, blah. And you start to kind of carve these things out just the same way that we're carving out the time to do this. We have so many things in our lives, and we're putting this in at the end of our day, whatever, but you have so many things in your lives. If it's important to you, there's always time. You probably lose time on mundane, stupid tasks as a person, right? And the reality is you start to remove those things. Like if you wanted to watch a movie for 4 hours, well, maybe you're not going to do that anymore, and then you'll fit something else in. So it becomes a balance.
I think I'm so used to just being go, 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 go. Like I said, you've known me forever. I'm just like always on the go. I have such like huge ambitions, and just
that's gonna go.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You don't have a choice.
Like it's
too late.
Yeah, it's not too late.
It's too late.
It's not too late.
You don't have a choice. And you're not, and the good thing is you're not going to want to. You're going to find, and that's important, is that like work has always been the forefront of your life.
Yeah.
in many ways, in different jobs and projects and bands, call that work, right?
Yep.
It's always been the part of whatever. And you're going to start to reprioritize. Even if you don't think that you're going to, you will automatically, taking it from someone who's done it.
For sure.
And you're going to find that balance. And if you don't find that balance, listen to the people around you, whether it's Jess or your friends saying like, listen, take some time, find some balance. Are you going to be kind of off the grid a little bit at the beginning or at all, or no?
I can't
Besides like
imagine.
phone calls and emails, do you think you can?
It's just so she's luckily
in?
she is due in December. I've always had fairly busy. Like last year on Christmas, I was working 3 offers.
Yeah.
So like,
luckily you're a Jew.
Yeah, but it's just, you know, we still celebrate Christmas because Jess isn't, and it's just like it's just always been go. So I'm sure I'll figure it out. I have to.
Yeah,
it's just
when you're forced to, you do.
Yeah, I just can't. Like if I stop moving, I drown.
Oh, you're not stop moving. You're just gonna be moving in a different way.
I mean, just like with work and just like the content that I put out and all that stuff. Like I started vlogging again. So like, how much am I going to bring in with the baby and all that kind of stuff? And whether I can tie in this stuff.
Vlog the birth, and then you have 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah, exactly. And just
having said that though, like you can still do lots of that stuff, right? Keep your life, keep the important things.
Yeah.
when I think it was Joey, either Joey or Sunny. My
Joey's
3 kids are Joey
oldest.
is 8, she's a girl. Sunny is 5, she's a girl, and Atlas is my baby boy. He's 2. But I think when Joey was born, because we weren't ready, all my kids came relatively. I think they all came early. Joey we weren't prepared for because your first kid. It was a regular birth. Jamie went into labor at our anniversary dinner.
Okay.
So it was where
were you?
It was September 7th. We were at her parents' house, and my parents were there. Everyone was there, and Jamie started having like contractions, which she wasn't sure if they're contractions. And my mom's like, just go to the hospital because my mom's over worried. Her mom was like, it's probably nothing because her mom is a little more cool and calm and collective. And we had things on our schedule, at least I did from a working perspective. So like we went into the hospital. It was a long birth, that one.
What's a long birth?
Like she was in labor for a while. Like I guess right when you have contractions, that's essentially when your labor starts. But from a pushing perspective, she was doing that for a while.
Okay.
I don't know the hours, but it was a while. We went into the 8th, which is the day she was born. And I think the 9th, maybe even the 8th potentially, I had a gig to DJ. I left and I went to the event.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So I was exhausted. It was I was a bar mitzvah, hosting a bar mitzvah. And I said, I didn't do it like saying I'm gone and I'll be back. Like it was all understood that like, when you get booked, you're in this world.
Yeah.
I've been booked for a year and I didn't plan on having a baby this early.
And if they book Carson, they better get Carson.
They better get Carson. Listen, they pay extra money for me. And so the reality is that like, there wasn't much I can do by sticking around. And we all understood that I had to go to work and I had to do this. So I left, I got ready at the hospital.
Okay.
Went to the party, DJ'd for 5 hours, and then went back.
Wild.
So you make it work.
And the baby didn't come yet?
No. Sorry. The baby was born.
Oh, okay.
The baby was just born, and I worked that night.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right, or the next night, which is crazy. So I was exhausted, obviously, because I've been sleeping in the hospital. But listen, I'm on cruise control when it comes to that. At this point, that's my 6th sense is emceeing and DJing. I can just do it without
thinking about it,
mental preparation at all.
So like, let's go.
That's work.
First night home.
What
am I expecting here?
So I'll be honest. This is what I said on my first night home, and you may not be going home to your house, right?
No, we're not. No, we're going to Jess's grandparents. Her mom's going to be there. It's a bungalow. We got a lot of stairs in this house, so she's also getting a C-section. So stairs are not going to be her friend.
Yeah, you don't want to you want to try to, either way, you want to relax as much as possible.
Sure.
But your first night home was a lot like my first night home in the sense that we didn't go home to our house. Our house was being renovated. And so you never feel totally comfortable. Even if they set everything up for you, you feel scattered because you don't have your stuff. You don't have you don't have your bed. You don't have your things. So it's overwhelming. And I remember, and this is a bad thing to admit, but we decided that when we're starting this podcast, full transparency,
100%,
full honesty.
Let's go.
This is what dads are thinking, or some dads.
Sure.
And this is what I was thinking as a new dad.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm like, the baby, Joey wasn't stop crying and shitting and just everything. And it's so overwhelming. And I'm just like, maybe I said to Jamie, like, maybe we did this too early. And what's the point of saying that at that point?
Dude,
but
she hated you so much.
She didn't, because she was also like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It was my mom in the room. She's like, don't say that. It's not. I'm like, I don't know. I'm tired. I don't know what to do. So yeah, the first night, you don't go home the first night. Usually you won't go home the first night.
No, I think she's going to be a couple days.
She might be there for a few days, but it's overwhelming. You're set off on your own, right? The nurses help you when you're in the hospital, and it seems to be like a dream world because it's not all on you.
Okay.
But the day that you say, okay, you're going home, they do the hearing test, they do all these different things. They're like, okay, discharged. You put the baby in this car seat, and you have to walk out with it and put it in
I always see like everyone on Instagram with the dad like holding the baby.
Yeah. Are you gonna? Don't do that.
Well, I'm gonna do like WWE styles. I'm gonna have like fireworks going off in slow motion.
There'll
be like people like shooting at me. Yeah,
it's gonna be a big production.
It's gonna be. Well, if you
and Jess is in the back in the wheelchair, just like.
No, she's already drafting the divorce documents.
Oh, okay, so that's good. Yeah, so let's talk about raising a child with two separate households.
Okay.
No, so yeah, you whatever. You're scared as hell. It's good to have support. Great, but yeah, you don't. People talk about sleeping, right? You don't sleep that much, anyways, right? As a person.
No, I usually go to bed at 2 and I wake up at like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so like maybe you'll be fine with that. It's a different type of sleep deprivation.
That's the word. Yeah.
I was gonna say sleep deprived, which is
same thing.
a different type of way of saying it.
Yeah, that's cool.
But you're tired and you're overwhelmed. And I'll tell you this, and I don't know if everyone will admit this. I think I've said this to you privately before.
Maybe.
But at least for me, that like when people say like, oh, I was born, like the baby was born and I held him in his arms and he held my finger and I was instantly in love. That wasn't true for me at all.
Okay.
I didn't have any connection. Like it's different maybe for the moms, and moms feel free to chime in and message. But like for a dad who didn't have this thing grow in you, but you just saw the process happening in front of you, it wasn't like instant love. It wasn't instant. I was neutral. I was like, okay, I have this thing. I have to keep it alive. It's great. But because it's like this baby is like an amoeba, it's like it doesn't do anything. There's no response. There's no smiling at you. It can't lift its head. It's flopping around. Like it was just like don't die mode for the first like 6 months or so until it starts to like
6 months.
Yeah, listen, I loved it. I loved this thing.
Joey,
I love Joey. It's Sunny. It's all the same. I love them because I'm supposed to love them and they're mine. But you don't have a direct connection with them, or at least I didn't.
Did you do the skin to skin thing?
I did the skin to skin. It's wonderful. It is emotional.
Did you cry?
No.
I
didn't cry for any of the births.
Okay.
And I'm not a crier. I cry.
I cry all the time.
I cry in movies.
Yeah.
I cried during Free Willy.
That's a horrible movie.
I cried when Uncle Phil gave the speech to Will Smith.
It was good. What about Mr. Feeney?
I'm watching Boy Meets World again right now, by the way.
From
the beginning.
Okay.
Disney Plus.
Disney. Okay.
I'm reliving my childhood.
No free ad.
No free ad. No, it's already streaming. Yeah. But yeah, I'll say this, and I think this is true, until you fall in, maybe there's a type of love when they're born, of course, because it's yours, but you fall in love when you get to different pillars throughout their lives. And mine first one was when they start to see you and respond to you, because they're kind of like blind. Things are blurry.
They can't, apparently up until like 9 months, their vision fully doesn't come.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Which is good, because
because you're ugly.
Oh, you cut me right.
Friends since kindergarten.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, so like when the baby first smiles at you, the baby smiled at you.
But it was gas.
Yeah, whatever it is, doesn't matter. The moment you do something and you get a response back, that's when you start to really feel the connection. Or again, at least for me, this is just my experience, but that's to me. So again, at the beginning, overwhelming, you're tired. Do whatever you can from a relationship standpoint to not upset, get on each other's nerves. It's little things that will bug you. Put those things aside. Do your best to just support Jess. She'll need it more than you, obviously.
Yeah, and I'll end up dead. She terrifies me.
She's a strong, independent woman.
She's scary.
She doesn't need you.
She's scary.
She's great.
Terrifying.
She's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like she looks innocent and sweet, but really
she's a corporate lawyer.
So
like you have to be. But yeah, I've, you're not the first person to say that to me. Even now, like I still go through periods of times where it feels like completely surreal.
Yeah.
Like I'm still living my life.
Did you
I'm
feel
just
the
like,
kick yet?
Yeah. I just actually felt on Saturday, and Jess sent me a video this morning of like actually
alien.
seeing it.
Ugh, it freaked me out.
It's wild. It's like
gross.
it's super crazy that I'm gonna be a dad. But like it just hasn't like fully hit me yet. I guess like still like
of
now.
course it won't.
But like now I'm just in like I'm in grind mode. I'm just like, okay, I need to like I already do well. I need to step it up even more.
Yeah.
And like I've always had it in my brain, like I'm very like happy, I'm grateful, I'm just never satisfied. And that's just like I'm proud but never satisfied is kind of like what I've always said. There's always room for me to grow and grow my business and just other avenues to, make sure that our family is extremely well taken care of. And
well, as my booby once said, it's like with babies comes all those things, comes success. Like that brings that into your life. And I believe that's true. And maybe this son of yours will fill that puzzle piece in your cold black heart of that need. Like I have that need too. I always want to do more. I want more in my life, whether it's financial or it's fulfillment in life, whatever it is, you want more. You want that drive. It keeps you young.
Yeah.
But rounding it off with that, with a family and having someone that depends on you and now kind of caring about someone else. And I know you do that with your wife and we do that with our wives, but it's different when it's your kid because it's yours, fully yours.
And our dogs.
And your dog. But you didn't give birth to your dogs, although they look like you.
Yeah. That
kind of puts things in perspective.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it gives you something, I get that, something else to live for and all that stuff. It's just, I think it's gonna be a big adjustment. And it is like, I'm a little fucking scared. And it's just, we're going to curse on here. I say,
we can swear.
I say all the time. Yeah. But, it's scary.
Shit, poop, whatever.
Yeah. Like it is really scary. And I think it is going to be an adjustment. Like I'm pretty scheduled as it is, wake up, go to the gym, answer my emails from my car. And then I go to my office, show-ins, listing appointments, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now with like getting back into content, like editing and all that kind of stuff too. So like, I think my assistant is going to be working in overdrive and hopefully she doesn't kill me as well, but
she'll be happy for you.
Yeah.
The good thing is that, especially at first, like I was saying, like it's babies are meant for us in our lifestyle and our world because at first they sleep a lot, right? So you have a lot of great windows where the baby's sleeping every 2 hours or every hour, every 3 hours.
Colic thing?
Oh,
did any of your babies have colic?
Yeah, they all did.
Oh, great.
It's not so bad. I have a chair that will help with that.
Will you just hit them with the chair?
Yeah, you just like WWE, smash them over the head. No, it keeps them on a good angle while they're sleeping, so that way I can give you this chair as long.
This is going to be such a pointless sidebar, but do you remember when we were DJing at one party? I put a garbage can over my head, and you hit me in the head with the chair.
Yeah,
that was weird.
We thought we were funny.
Some of the shit that we did, and which I'm sure will come out.
I think we should do a little deep dive into our history every episode, just so people can get to know.
There's so many stories, but I've heard colic is really really bad, and just that the first, especially because from what I heard, because we're having a C-section, I've heard like the first night after the baby's out, he's just crying the whole time because he's like, what the hell is going on? Because when you have a normal pregnancy, I'm a scientist, guys, so take my advice.
Dr. Greenberg.
I've got beakers of solutions behind me.
You.
Yeah. So apparently when you have like a baby normally, the weird normal blowout
vaginal,
just
fallopian
gross.
tubes.
But the baby starts knowing like, oh shit, something's happening, goes down a slide, the stork comes or whatever the hell happens, and all of a sudden you have a baby. Now it's just like, you'll rip open the fucking guts and it's just like, hello, I'm here.
Like nothing to, there's no
you know
transition.
what I mean? So he's just like, what is going on here?
I don't know. So Jamie had a C-section for Atlas.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because it was our third baby or our
you
third
just stopped.
kid.
I can tell you I'm the baby of the family. They just don't matter anymore.
Yeah. You care less.
Yeah.
But no, we love him probably the most.
That's something we're going to get into as well, because there's always a favorite kid.
It shifts. That's a great thing, is that you love them all equally, but like the one that you like at a given time changes. Love them all, like them all differently at different times.
Well, I think like Sunny's the most endearing. Every time I see her, she's just...
They all have their own
weird
personalities. And that's the other thing, is that like you say that C-section cry the first night, there's no rules. any rule book, any book in general, throw it out the window. Every baby's different. Every way they act is different.
So throw the rule book out the window, not the baby.
Yeah. Rule book out, baby
in.
safe in its little
thing.
cribby. What are those called again? We've had it so many times. Definitely swaddle, but the
baby burrito.
The baby burrito goes into
the crib,
the bassinet. No, you don't go to the crib right away. You
or
go
a
to the bassinet.
snoo. Apparently, we're getting a snoo.
Snoo?
Yeah,
never heard of that.
It's like a high tech thing where it's like $2,000. I don't.
Sounds like a noose. Snooze.
Snooze. There it is.
In other words, there's nothing you can prepare for because
it's good.
It's there's no way. Just be calm, collective, cool, excited, and ready. But I will tell you this, because I don't know what time it is. I don't know where we're getting, and I'm excited that we're unpacking all this. But I want to do this little segment in our shows, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
And today will be quick and easy.
It is.
Called, and I have to tell you a story. Remind me to tell you a quick story after this as my closer. How about we do that? I want to have like dad hacks.
Okay.
Things that will help you, that help others, and you'll have some great hacks because you'll be in it soon. So you might have something that's working for you.
Maybe I already do have hacks.
You have no hacks.
I've got a lot of hacks.
The hacks are
the hackster.
You're a hack, is what you are. You're a hack. You're
Shots
a hack.
fired.
You're a dad hack at this point. But you're gonna learn some things as you go, and some things work for some people and some don't work for others. But this is not so much about being a dad, but it's a hack for your own mental health state as your baby and kid gets older.
Okay.
Is that you are going to have, like you said, we discussed less opportunities to maybe do the things you want or have your moments or go out and relax or meet with your friends. You know that I have obviously that struggle still.
You can just admit you don't have any friends.
Then why are we doing this? I hate my life. My mom's off camera saying, I told you.
Leslie, get out of here.
Get out of here, mom. But a dad hack for all the dads out there, and this is simple, most of you already know this, but the bathroom will become your best friend. It's those moments of peace where no one, if you say I'm going out with my boys, you have to explain potentially, it's a special night, it's Paul's birthday, it's whatever, right?
Sure.
If you just say you have to go to the bathroom, my stomach hurts or whatever, no one questions you. It becomes a paradise in your home, a paradise within your house, and
the porcelain paradise.
Oh my God, the PP, the porcelain paradise.
Love it.
Is a hack that many people discover once they have kids, but like know that that's your escape pod. Close the door, lock it, take 2 minutes to yourself, have a gummy, look at your phone, read your book, do whatever you do, and really start to appreciate. So if you are renovating your house, you might do that. Make sure your bathroom. I have a Toto toilet.
Yeah, same.
Which is fantastic, and that whole area is just a haven for peace because no one will ever question you of why you have to go to the bathroom.
So I do have a hack.
Let's hear.
It's called IBS.
Oh yeah. There you go. They're connected.
That's what I'm saying. So like story sold every single time.
Yeah, and do you use that now? There's no reason to hack that up now.
No, dude, it's my life.
It's more it's more embarrassing.
Sure, if you're embarrassed by it.
But do you announce it?
Yeah, I'm just
to everybody.
Poopy time.
Sir, I'm trying to get you to sell my house. I didn't need to hear that.
No, I got to see if it works.
Do you use toilets in real estate homes?
No.
Ever?
No.
So how does that work?
Just
with the IBS and
Starbucks. So I used to
that makes no sense.
Play in tour in bands, and every morning I would wake up and try to find the closest Starbucks or Panera Bread in the States, just because they always had the cleanest bathrooms. So what? Also, sidebar: Jess and I went to the Hamptons 2 weeks ago, and we took a car service from New York.
You are setting yourself. He's a fancy guy.
Anyways,
we went to the Hamptons. We took a car service.
This is what's really funny. So
the sweater around my neck was a little too tight.
So the guy driving us, obviously saw Jess was pregnant, so he's just like, I know every.
Threw her in the trunk.
No, he's like, I know every single clean washroom on the way to the Hamptons, and I'm not lying. Every single bathroom that he picked, I think we stopped 3 times.
Pristine.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 washrooms. This guy knew every single clean washroom on the way from the airport to where we were going. 10 out of 10 washrooms.
That's great.
That's like, it blew my mind.
Well, to tie that to being a dad and whatever.
There it is.
When you have kids that are a little bit older and you're out and kids have to go, there's going to be a lot of dad hacks I'm going to talk about to make sure that the bathroom you run into is the cleanest possible solution for you and how to get it to a state without having to get your hands dirty. There's these great toilet covers. We went to Disney. We had a whole pack of toilet seat covers. that were disposable. They saved the day. We drove to Florida. It was such a huge thing. So like, yeah, bathroom selection.
I think that's also another business idea, an app.
Isn't that what
With the-
George Costanza did in the final episode
I
of
don't think they
Seinfeld?
had iPhones.
No,
No, but you have an app
Yeah,
that
the
points out
iToilets.
all of the clean bathrooms.
It was in Curb.
It was in Curb.
So in the
Not
Curb
Seinfeld.
but in the Curb season, for anyone who likes Curb, where they were redoing the Seinfeld reunion season,
I know what you're talking about.
George became rich because he created the iToilet, which showed you the cleanest bathrooms
So
in New York City.
do you have like one standout? Because I know this is probably going to come up a lot.
Yeah.
One standout poop story
Oh,
that just
the
like
first one.
that ruined your life. You know those when people are like, this altered my brain chemistry.
Yeah.
What was that?
So
It was Joey.
Yes, the first time that I cleaned it, because at first I was trying to avoid it. Like Jamie was obviously closer with her, she was with her more.
Yeah.
She was breastfeeding, like she was hands on. And the first time we got home is when I got down and dirty for the first time. And maybe you know this, maybe you don't. But at first, the baby's poop for a little while.
It's like black sludge.
It's like black. It's called something again. Like as a dad, I don't remember all the different terms, but that's something.
Okay.
It's called something. Comment below,
Sure.
or phone in.
Yeah.
Send a text. I don't know how we're going to be communicating with
That's
our viewers, but it was black, and I have a video, and maybe we'll show it one day. Maybe we'll be like a behind the scenes feature. I'll post it. It's the funniest video. I laugh out loud when I watch it.
Did you set up a camera?
No, Jamie filmed me right from the start because it was my first time changing the diaper.
Okay.
So she was filming with her iPhone, and it was like a 12-minute production of me like using wet wipes and lining the bed below because I didn't want to get anything anywhere. That eventually goes away, but just gagging and because it's the first time you're touching someone else's poop.
How much volume was it?
This is enough. It was a lot because as I'm doing it and I'm holding Joey's legs up and Jamie's in the videos like, you're holding her like a chicken. Like I'm holding her legs up.
Jeez.
She's halfway up the bed because I don't want to get that ass to touch the sheets that I'm sleeping in. We're in our bed and I'm lining wet wipes and she's soaking wet from these wet wipes and I'm cleaning it. And as I'm doing it, she's pooing more, leaking more. She's peeing at the same time. And I'm like, oh God, she's peeing. Oh God, she's pooing. Oh God, it won't stop. So it's awful. It's the first time you're going to interact with someone else's poo essentially in your life.
Was that the moment it became real?
That was the moment it became like
shit's going down. It's real for me.
It
You know what I
became
mean?
like, holy shit, I can't imagine.
How many
doing
shit
this.
puns could we have right now?
Holy shit. There's a lot of shit. It was
Yeah.
shitty. No, yeah, that's one
was
moment.
it?
Every moment, all these new experiences are when it becomes more real. It's like it's real, and then it's like, oh, now it's real. Oh no, now it's real. Oh, my daughter's now like asking me. She's 8. She's asking me about like bras and sports bras. Oh, now it's real.
At 8 years old?
Yeah, she's not like she's going through puberty or anything, but she's aware of it. And she knows about it, and
That's
she's talking about it.
And I think that's also going to, we have so many things to talk about here. Wow.
So much.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's a whole other thing. Cause like when we were growing up, we didn't have social media. We just had some weird magazines that we kept under some of our friends' beds.
Don't forget the Fuzzies
The Fuzzies?
TV.
Oh, yeah. No, I always had the real stuff.
It's true. You had the good stuff.
I didn't have no Fuzzies. I had that pay-per-view satellite dish stuff.
It's true. The satellite.
But yeah, that's there's a lot, like that's got to be also really tough. And your daughter's an actor.
Actor, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they say actress anymore. I think they
I don't know the proper terms.
But
She's in the world of theater arts.
we had the same agent.
You did.
Yeah, and
She's gone further though.
She has, yes,
I mean,
she has. Yeah,
But
it's a whole.
I feel it's
other
easier when you're a
conversation.
kid. But yes,
Yeah,
there
that's got to be really tough, especially I think at that age. Like
it's weird. Every day is weird. That's the thing, is that you say, when does it become real? And maybe to wrap things up, although I will tell you a quick story.
yeah, we got to get into that story.
But it's a stupid story at this point. I've been hyping it up too much. But every day is amazing. Every day is an experience, and every day gets more real. And there's phases and stages and things that are happening that it's not like this is the end. It's just like another thing, and you don't stop. It never stops. There's no moment of peace along this train. And so you take it, which is a good thing, because if all of these issues that you have, and not issues, but just life sets in, if it all happened at the beginning, it would be very overwhelming, which it is. But because life happens in phases and you hit these, potty training, walking, crawling, gates, fences on your stairs.
I think it would be crawling then walking.
Yeah, I'm not going in order here.
Right,
I'm just listing things off.
Chronological.
We're not going chronological.
That's
This is a crazy podcast. We're all over the place. She's teenager. She's 4. No, but lots of phases, lots of things. Every day's an adventure, and you are about to start it. But
there's got to be still those days for you where just like, I have no idea what I'm fucking doing. Like there's got to be
every day.
Like it's really funny because like
every day.
It's just like in the career that I'm in or whatever I've accomplished in my life. Like there's still times that I'm just like, yo, I was like that kid in a band sleeping on floors of motels.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell am I here?
And that feeling doesn't go away.
And it's funny because like you said, like I would probably, I want to say the one friend out of our group that everyone's just like, how?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how is he here? And like the fact that I'm becoming
like
a
alive
dad,
or just
that I'm
in
still
life?
no, because I've always been like, I've never
straight
done,
edge,
yeah, I've never like
X's
done,
on your hand.
No, I was never straight edge. I
You
just
were
never got
straight
in.
edge.
I never got into partying, but it's
till later in life.
I still don't party. Me taking an edible and watching movies is very
No, but this is all part of the course for you. It's like you didn't try marijuana in whatever form till later. You didn't really drink till later. And
I still don't drink.
And you're not really, and you're having a kid later, and that's your path. And there's no wrong way. There's no right way. I think the benefit you have though, as we get here, is that like all your best friends have kids, and although Jess will have her circle of friends that may support her, you as a dad have other dads, and that's the point of this podcast.
Exactly.
Is to explain and to have conversations and to get involved and to talk about the dad life throughout the whole process, because it changes daily, and we want to be that kind of, whether it's entertainment or knowledge base or just real reality with full transparency, and not just talk about it as the light fluffy bird's eye view. Some of it's shitty, but it's all worth it.
And I think that's what's kind of cool about this is like, if we do break it into seasons, like now it's just like, yeah, I'm expecting. And then as of December, like I'm in it. I'm in the shit.
And we're setting the mics up at the hospital.
Yeah. We're going to be live podcasting the birth as they're
I'll
tearing
I'll
into
I'll put on like my announcer voice and do like the play by play.
Like full out UFC, like the Rogan be like, oh, reverse choke.
That meme is fantastic.
Everything that
the
he
C-section, though, I'll tell you, is again, it's different for everyone, but it was great. And I have a video I'll show you after this, because this may be you don't see anything, but I'll show you the video of my reaction, because you're right. You said earlier it's like nothing to everything. Where like when you're going through labor, there's pushing and oh my god, and the head and the whatever. It was 0 to 100, and I'll show you that video. It was fantastic.
So let's hear this story that you have been hyping up.
I'm gonna end this story.
Literally, he called me on the way here, being like, "I've got this crazy."
Well,
story.
I wanted to open the podcast because again, this episode was a general overview about to get to know us, what we plan on doing. It's going to evolve. We're going to try to bring some more things in. We're going to have some interviews. We're going to do some great stuff, and we want to hear feedback to kind of see where this goes.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to mention is that we were talking about, sleep. We were saying that earlier, and being tired. And you never really, it's a different type of tired. Even like if you're up all night watching movies and you wake up early, like it's a different type of tired. It's like an active tired. It's hard to explain. Yeah. You'll know when it happens. But I was really tired. I haven't had a lot of good sleeps recently. My kids are into a whole new sleeping pattern that's really messing me up. And I was getting ready for this podcast.
Okay.
I was excited. I'm like, we're gonna be on camera. I haven't done this. I'm not dressed up, but like I put on a t-shirt. I kept these pants that I was wearing all day on. And I'm like, I had a big beard, and I'm like, I'm going to shave a little bit. I'm going to bring it down to like a 3, which is like my starting point. It's my reset. I go to a 3 and then I go up.
I do a 1/8.
A 1/8. Yeah. You go skin deep, right?
No, not skin deep. No, I just, this is like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. So anyways. So I'm like, I put my little adapter on my shaver. I'm tired. I'm like, but I got to get ready for this. I'm in between like lunch and helping kids. And it's like, there's no time to shower during the day, but I got to shower during the day today because Jamie knew I was doing this and I wanted to get ready.
Yep.
So I go upstairs. I'm tired. I shower. So I get ready to shave before I shower. So I put on my little adapter and I start shaving with the 3. And I realize, I'm like, this looks lower than a 3 in certain spots.
Okay.
And I realized that the fucking adapter was half on.
Oh no.
I'm exhausted. And I start getting like, you can see my sideburn
here,
like fully
cool.
chopped off. And so I'm like, how do I salvage this? I don't like going to my skin, so I just shaved the rest 3. And so like, I don't know if you can see on the camera.
You probably can't.
You can see probably I'm patchy as shit. Jamie's like, you're going to be on camera. Why don't you just shave it all down? I'm like, nope. This is reality. This is a story. You're going to miss patches. You're going to miss parts of your hair. Your underwear's going to be backwards sometimes. You're going to smell sometimes. It's all part of it. It's all good. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. And so I came here today with patchy beard, whatever, and hopefully by the next one, I'll be cleaned up a bit.
That was your story.
That was good.
I was like expecting like one of your kids got hit by a bus and you like
that's not a story. That's a tragedy. And don't forget, we talked before this podcast. Support each other.
Yes.
That was a great story.
It was phenomenal. Oh, I love it. My
you.
life has changed. So I shower probably at least twice a day.
That's too much.
That's
out the window.
How is a shower not your like solace space?
Because your patterns of the shower start to become. Do you take long showers?
I do. Not long. Like
how,
you saw,
20 minutes?
I got ready. How quick did I go?
But in the shower, how long do you take?
Oh, like 4 minutes.
Okay, so
I'm a
that's
big
not
bath
long
guy
enough.
too. I like baths.
It's not long enough. So in other words, Jess will know he typically takes a shower for 4 or 5 minutes, whatever. Then he's out. Then the kids are running in, whatever. But if you're taking a poop, it's your safe spot. Your kids will understand it earlier. Hopefully they don't really, but I lock the door and they start to move. And I'm like, no, you make the poop sacred. And there's no time limit on that because it's different for everyone. It can take an hour. It can take 5 minutes. It can take 30 seconds. There's no expectation. The shower, they expect me to be in and they expect me to be out. And I only ever really shower in my life when my kids are sleeping. There's no point of me doing it midday. It's always at nighttime. Usually I don't like to get into my bed when I'm dirty. Yeah, they're all sleeping. I hop in the shower. I take my time and I go to bed.
There it is.
So I have the moment anyways. But anyways, yeah, Paul, I'm excited to be doing this with you.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be what?
It should be a great time. It should be informative. It should be fun.
Funny.
All the F's.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be cool. I also think that it's going to be cool to go back and even have the kids listen to it because I'm sure there's going to be lots of stories of stuff that pop up weekly. And we were weird freaking kids, man. We were really really weird kids, and I can't even imagine what was going through our parents' heads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm nervous. Ready. I'm excited. It's a whole ball of emotions.
Both for the baby and the podcast.
All of the podcast is kind of a baby too.
Well, that's the point. Is that you specifically in this podcast, and actually me too, equally, but for different reasons. This is going to be entertainment, hopefully, for people. They enjoy it. They get something out of it. But for us, if nobody watches this, if no one ever hears it, let's use this time as our own therapy session to talk the shit out about becoming a dad. If you get something out of this, great. If I know I'll get something out of this. And I think if we accomplish that, Paul, that's all that matters.
All right, let me wrap it up here because I'm the YouTube guy and all that stuff.
Oh God, here we go.
So if you're listening, if you're watching, don't forget to smash that like button. Leave a comment below with your little tips. You want to give us some tips on parenting? Go ahead and do that.
Questions
if you got those. Don't forget to hit that subscribe so you know when we upload, and that little bell up top.
That bell's important, right?
It's important because it's going to allow you to know when we upload. You get a little notification. If you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of that stuff, rate. Rate would be the word. Yeah, vote for us.
Vote for us.
We're on American Idol. Don't forget to leave a comment below on there as well. So if you're watching, you're listening, this is the Dad Collective podcast.
Dad Collective.
And we will see you next week.
We're just starting out.
Have a great night, guys.
Take care. Or day.
Whenever you're listening. Maybe it's the afternoon. Maybe you're on a stroll.
Maybe
getting away from your kids.
Yeah. This is your therapy too.
There it is. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Carson, Daniel.
Until the next one.
I don't think I can call you Daniel. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right.
Later.
See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye. If you loved our first show, make sure you tune in each and every week for a brand new episode of The Dad Collective.